Brothers and sisters, comrades and friends, my name's Cuba Libre, and welcome back to Let's Play Mark of the Ninja. I think I should have cut off some more at the beginning, but I didn't. Let's head into level 11, set to flight. It's gonna be good. Oh, Dosan, you're so old.
We can't just leave Dosan here. He deserves better than being left for the vultures.
I'll always remember you, Dosan. Ave Maria, gratia
Dosan should be left at home, in the shrine. I'm ashamed we must leave him out here, alone.
Whatever, their old crazy dude died. And he is crazy. Again, I'll talk more about that later. But if you haven't got the feeling by now that he's kind of weirdo.
Your trials are over, Dosan. I pray we're as brave when we stand before ours.
Sleep now. Sleep now, sweet prince. But he didn't die in vain, because now we have the third mark.
Can you feel the effects of the final mark? Nobody has borne it for years. But the legends say that you'll move so quickly, it'll seem as if you vanished in thin air.
But teleport
I hope that's true.
is what that
I
means.
can't see another way to get out of here alive.
It means I can teleport now. Teleporting's pretty cool. Here's a switch for no reason. I guess it's just to keep you going backwards for the beginning so you can get Dosan. Put Dosan's body to rest. And it just won't let you go back. Now, how would we get to these bombs? It seems impossible.
We'll never get through there. Unless...
Unless... First I have to figure out how to use it and not walk into the bomb because I'm an
We
idiot.
had to leave everything behind.
There you go.
Except your darts. Let's hope that's enough to get out of here.
Yeah, they take away all your items. It blows. And your sword, by the way.
Those things will have a harder time following us if we split up. I'll meet you outside the ruins.
So now we can't stealth kill. Now meet the Stalker, folks. Our last enemy type in the game. These guys are something. They're kind of cool, but then kind of not. So the deal with Stalkers is they're like the ninjas from your clan with the fancy schmancy techno armor on. They cannot be stealth killed, even if you do have a sword. But unlike the elite guards, you can't stealth kill them if you distract them first either. You just straight can't stealth kill them. The only way you can kill them is with an attack item or with environmental traps. Now, you'll notice that big green circle around there. Not only do they have night vision all the time, and their frontal cone, which we've seen before. I'm trying to knock down that bomb, but that Stalker's in the way. Damn it! Oops! So you see, I use a dart to knock him down. And then another dart to distract him to run back.
Quiet.
All kind of bombs. You just gotta lead him in. Alright, so the green circle is another sight. It's actually a sight radius. It's not a smell like the dog. But if you are... and it has night vision. So if you're not actually in a hiding spot, if you go anywhere into the green circle, they will see you. Which is crazy. As you can see, they're also the only mobile enemies in the game. They can sprint and jump from level to level. They pretty much have all your powers. But they're still too dumb to see bombs on the ground. Oops. So this level's all about leading enemies into stealth traps because you don't have your equipment. So even when regular enemies appear later on, you still need to do the same kind of wrangling. I'm of two minds about the Stalkers. It's kind of cool to fight enemies that have all your abilities, but you really ought to be able to stealth kill them. It's stupid that you can't do that. So you always have to use items or the environment. It's kind of annoying, I think. I just want to see what's on the other side of this over here. Now the teleport does make up for your lack of distraction items at least. But, I don't know, generally speaking, I like having an item as opposed to the teleport, but that's just me. I'll go over that later once I do my style guide and show you all the available styles in the game and comment upon them. For now, that Stalker's invincible to me because I have no items and there's no more traps to lead her into, so I just can't get the points for killing her. So this is where that terror dart upgrade that kills them at the end when they do the suicide comes into play. So the terror darts will not terrorize the Stalkers because they can't be terrorized, but the forced suicide effect still works. So so you just have, you had 2 terror darts, you got 2 guaranteed kills. Which is just points. Or to get them out of your way. So that is pretty nice. Oh, what was that just hit you? Oh, who knows? No, what I'm hoping is that they'll run by and... Yup, perfect. Idiots!
I have failed, but I cannot surrender. This era does not belong to us, but we can take from it. I have seen today's soldiers and the weapons they use. With these tools, we could adapt, and we could survive.
Thomas Edison appears and says, "Idiot, I haven't been born yet." If you know where that's from, you get 1,000 million points. Now, the scrolls now seem to be modern. They're actually starting to be written by Azai, rather than, Tales from the Crypt. Tales from the Hood. And it goes over his motivations for stealing the mercenary weapons and making the ninjas all techno awesome. Now this is interesting. This is a bunch of traps that basically force you to use the teleport. I don't think there would be a way to do it without the teleport. So that's what that switch does. It's not necessarily a switch you want to press all the time. Now, the teleport does have a cooldown. You see, I tried to use it twice in a row because I realized my mistake. The darts shoot faster from when you press the switch than it takes you to get over to press the switch, so it's better to use the teleport to go from the switch to under the block rather than to the block. Whatever. You know what I'm saying. Anyways, it worked. And this is interesting. I'm pretty sure this is not... or this... You're supposed to use the block to... in a similar way to block all the arrows, but if you're quick enough, you can just trip that one wire on bottom, duck into the hiding spot, let the darts go by, and then skip all the other tripwires, so you don't need to use the block at all. Now we have a bunch of regular old bandits. They are easier to deal with, in a sense, but of course you still have to use traps to kill them because I have no swords.
Show yourself. We are coming for you.
So only some of them can be killed because there's only some traps lying around. Ooh, a sniper. No thank you. If I knock down that bomb, will it be close enough to kill him? Yes, sir, it will.
You cannot hide forever.
Yes, sir, I like it.
No sign of
So I could try to get over top of this dude, probably by hitting the bell and then jumping over his head, but... oh, there we go. Now it's easy because... once again... once you start having traps like this, it suddenly becomes useful to shoot darts directly at guys, whereas... earlier in the game, I don't ever find it that useful. As you see it, they just run directly wherever you are when you threw it. They somehow know exactly where the dart came from. So it's useful to have them run into things. It's just that usually I don't use any things that they can run into. Rather than trying to drop on top of that dude with not much room, because I can't kill him, I decide to go around. However, that is not a good way to go because there's a sniper right there. There's also a guy patrolling on the bottom, and as you can see along the very top, there are a couple bombs to play with here. So, it's not all bad, but this guy appears to be invincible. He won't ever leave this ledge. I can't make him leave the ledge. And there's no bombs on his little ledge, so combine all three of those things. And what I want is that guy on the bottom.
Someone is here.
To run into that bomb. So I keep readjusting my distraction to get him to walk. There we go. Now that sniper that I killed
Someone is down.
is going to be an issue, and you will see why in a minute here. It's unfortunate but true.
He'll be back.
You see there is a shield guy walking
he's
around on
fallen.
that same level.
Dead. He's dead.
Oops. So we just found his corpse. Now you'll see... I'm looking around like, what body? I didn't see that problem. But when I restart my checkpoint, it starts me up here randomly without having done any of those things. So I kind of have to start over from the other side. Once again, the checkpoint's kind of fucking me up here. So we saw that patrolling guy in the bottom, and we have this awesome spike floor. So I figured there ought to be a way to use this to my advantage. Luckily, guards are dumb enough that they will literally just walk into spikes. Oops. Of course it didn't matter because they went down soon enough, but... okay, that's what we actually need. Now what I'm hoping is that I can kill this guy and move on before the other dude ever notices. Like, this is all closed off now, so I figure, well, surely they can't find the body all the way up there, right? Wrong. But this is a little abusive, not proud. If you reload the checkpoint after the alarm, it doesn't save the fact that you got an alarm. And I mean, as long as the checkpoint saved before the alarm happened, you can use it after the alarm happens. And apparently it doesn't save the fact that those guys were distracted. So now they won't find the body, even if it did save the position of the body. So that's kind of cool. Another easy kill. Oops. And now we learn something slightly new, which is that these bombs have weight. They will hold down the buttons. Not used very often in the main game, but they will feature prominently in the challenge room coming up. Now this is interesting. The switch doesn't actually, the wires in Farsight don't actually go anywhere. There really aren't any wires. So I figure, well, oh god, oh god. It's like a wave that you have to teleport through. Ooh. That was pure reaction. I really had no idea what was going to happen when I pulled that switch, but I knew it was going to involve all those arrow things and it was going to be bad. And let's move on to the challenge room. Now this one is pretty interesting, and it took me a little while to figure it out, as you'll see. So each of these buttons, that switch opens the front door, but then it makes these spikes go in a progressive fashion. And each of the buttons underneath the hanging bombs opens up one of the other doors. So obviously I need to open each of the doors underneath the bombs so I can shoot them with my darts, let them drop, and hold down the buttons. The interesting thing is that the progressive spikes will blow up the bombs that are on the ground. So I need to like sprint through so that the before they blow up the bombs, remove the weight, and then drop the doors back in my way. But first, I need to figure out how to open the doors underneath the bombs. It's a multi-stage puzzle here. Now, I'm stupid, and I should go up to that grapple point first, and to the left to get that switch. These switches are kind of in an order. You get them from left to right, and as soon as I got that one, I should have figured it out. But I was like, let's just keep going and see what happens. Well, this is what happens. We have this thing set up where you need to teleport. And I'm an idiot. Oh, ow. Not fast enough. But still I don't learn my lesson. I'm like, I'm gonna get down that hallway. So obviously what you need to do is teleport down to the last section down underneath. But I just do that because I finally realize, okay, I need to go back and get that switch on the left first, which is easy to do, and I should have done it a while ago. And this is me trying to go down without sticking to the side of that block. It's actually harder than it seems. It won't let me teleport in those areas because I can't stick to them, but it's fine. That switch stops the blade, that switch actually opens the thing. Now, same old procedure, drop the block, right it back up. This time I won't be such an idiot with that arrow hallway up top. Try to teleport just straight on top of it, but whatever. Again, the teleport, other than in situations where you have to use it, which are all now. Oh, good job. Good job, Cuba. That was fantastic. What an idiot. Nope. Now, you can teleport directly into a hiding spot, but it doesn't exactly tell you when it's going to happen. And sometimes you go into it, sometimes you don't. I really don't know how or why that works. And it's actually really frustrating, because it can, obviously, if you're depending on teleporting into a hiding spot, it can ruin a whole run. I mean... So... I confess I do not know what those paths on the ground here do, but I assume they're bad, because if you don't hit them, you can get to the end. Which means if you do hit them, it must do something else.
But I must call one last student to bear the mark. The man who should have replaced me must instead sacrifice himself for me. And us all.
So, Hazai is genuinely remorseful about loading me up with tattoos and then making me kill myself. So here we see another trap. Those falling traps that make loud noises can also kill enemies. This little situation allows you to test that out. So I teleported directly, or not teleported, but grappled directly through the thing right when the Stalker was underneath it, so it killed her. Pretty cool. Also of note, apparently every Stalker is female, which means like every other... I don't know if you saw that, but she landed on the spikes, on the pressure plate, which made the spikes go up as she ran directly into them herself. So she just killed herself.
I kill 10, 20
Pretty awesome.
before they start to flee. And then I walk outside and collapse. The shame stays in my gut, and I accept it. I rest until I have the strength to go home, to lie, and to leave. The crescent moon cuts. I sink into the ground and wish the sand away.
His confession? It sounded more like a death poem.
Yeah, it's because it's not a confession, because Azai isn't wrong, but whatever. We'll get to that later. So now I'm just trying to figure a clever way to kill every Stalker that I come across. Here you can see you can use the tripwire to drop the weight to land on the pad to raise the spikes. So as soon as she walks over it, there you go. Dead Stalker. Now there's only a couple left, and I spend a good long time here trying to figure a fancy way to kill them. But, spoiler alert, it doesn't work out. The thing that might have worked is if I had waited for a better time to trip this tripwire up ahead in this path, which will drop that sound thing. The one that patrols down here might have heard it and come down, and I could have lured her in one of those bombs. Unfortunately, I'm stupid, and she was all the way up top when I dropped it, so she was outside of the sound radius, didn't hear it, wasn't distracted. So at this point, there's really not that much I can do. I tried to, that last tripwire there is another droppy weight thing, but neither of their patrol routes take them right underneath it. So I would have to like somehow make them stand relatively still underneath it, then zoom across. I don't know, it wouldn't work. It's just not going to work. So I eventually I reached that conclusion and ended up just going. But that's it for this level.
So that's what his eye's up to. Lying to us, hiding his mistakes, and trying to make us more like those things. You know what you must do. Go back to your master and kill him.
I don't see why that's what I must do at all. I don't see why it's such a terrible thing that they have cool power suit. I want a cool power suit. Just right now, in my daily life. Well, whatever. Yeah, let's go back and kill all our own people after we just spent so long saving them from being killed. Good idea. 9 seals. Set to flight. Done. I'm Cuba Libre. See you next mission.